right. Good afternoon. This is Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing, and we're live on LinkedIn. I'm doing a live stream today. It's Saturday afternoon. Just finished up a couple things this morning. I had my workout and got my LinkedIn Rockstars list published. This is a Meller Marketing creation. It's something I've been doing for a little while. And I was originally, once upon a time, publishing this list on LinkedIn every single week. And I had really great response to it and really nice community engagement that was happening, and started building up followers and whatnot. And then I decided the frequency was work. It was about an hour's worth of work for me each week. And I kind of was evaluating, the benefits of continuing to publish it on a weekly basis versus, gaining that time back. And I decided to go to a monthly basis. So I just published that list a little while ago. And then I thought, gosh, it might be kind of cool to do a LinkedIn Live right after I publish a list. And I'm going on my phone right now. I'm going to show you guys this technique here. So I'm using StreamYard, and you can see here, I don't know if you can see your comments. I don't know that you can. So you can see your comments even. Look at this. So I'm using StreamYard. This is a device that you can use for live streaming when you're approved to be a live, I guess when you get approved to do a live broadcast on LinkedIn. And there's certain devices, and this is the one that I've elected to use. And you can see here, let me see how I can point this out. I've got my logo right here. Let's see if I can get to it. It's kind of difficult to do this because I feel like I'm a weatherman in front of a green screen and trying to figure out where's the cloud, But here it is, my logo right here. So this is part of the StreamYard branding. And then you can see below me here, today I'm going to be talking about marketing tips by Meller Marketing. And the concept here today I'm going to talk about is coopetition. So my good friend Terry Bean, I'm going to add him to the comments in a little while here. He is the person who first introduced me to this concept of coopetition. I think he read about it in another book or some other place, but he's the person I heard about it through originally. And the concept here is aligning yourself with your competitors and the concept of cooperating with them, supporting one another, supporting your community as a marketing technique. And it was something that I didn't even realize I was doing it until I was already doing it. And Terry said, hey, that's coopetition. And he gave it a name for me. So I'm going to be talking about that concept on today's broadcast. What I'd like to do, though, is for those of you who are watching me, and I see we've got many people that are joining online right now, if you could just leave a comment and just let me know where you're listening in from. If you're familiar with the Meller Marketing LinkedIn Rockstar list, let me know that as well. If you are one of my rock stars that's published on the list today, do let me know that as well. And I like to say welcome to each of you. So what I've noticed on these live broadcasts is there's about a 30-second, maybe a little bit under that, but about a 30-second delay. So what I like to do is kick the broadcast off, and then I like to take a moment to look at my comments and welcome each of you. Part of the success of LinkedIn Live, what I've noticed, is community engagement. So you're going to notice if you watch me live, I'm going to show you these techniques. I pull back the curtain, and I'm going to let you guys know what works well in case you are ever on a live as a guest, or as you're watching them, you might kind of really start to understand why some of these lives are really doing well, and why you might jump into one and then jump out of it quickly. But this is one of the techniques. I like to bring energy, as you can tell, into my presentations, and I like to engage my audience. So I'm going to say hello to all of you and see who's online right now. So Abu Siddiq, hi, how are you? Murtaza says hi, how are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you very much. Planet says hello. Bushan says hello from India. Nice to see you. And if you are from overseas, anywhere else in the world, I'd love to know what time of day is it there for you. Here I'm in Metro Detroit, and it's about 12:51. And you may be watching this in the playback later on. If that's the case, do let me know in comments what time of day you're watching this. I'd love to hear your feedback. Hey, we've got Jeff Young. Hello, fellow rock star Jeff Young. Now, Jeff, I'm going to put you on the spot here because you are one of my fellow rock stars. I posted earlier today, and I said I'm going to be doing a live today. And I said, if you're one of the Meller Marketing LinkedIn rock stars, I'd like to invite you to join me on the live broadcast. So Jeff, completely optional. If you would like to join me, just message me in the comments on the live here, or you can text me because you've got my cell phone number, and I'm going to send you an invitation, and we can chat for maybe 5 minutes or so on the live broadcast. Totally optional. If you don't want to, that's understandable. But I would love to have a fellow rock star on here. So we've got Ayesha says hi, Raj says hi. Good morning to both of you, or afternoon or evening, it may even be where you're calling in from. Dutton says nice. Katrina Kurt, you're a fellow rock star as well. Hello, Katrina. Hope you're doing well today. RM says hi. Katrina's joining us from Copenhagen. Wonderful. Allison says hello, Brenda. Allison, are you the woman who was from Florida the other day? Is that the same Allison, if I'm remembering you correctly? Ahmed says hi. Anna is from Switzerland. Lovely. Thank you for joining us here today. And Jeff is number 6 with a bullet. Yes, you are, Jeff. You're really rocking on LinkedIn. Hamad is from Ajax, Ontario. Welcome, Hamad. Thanks for joining us. Job is from Netherlands. Wonderful. We got people from all over the world. Nirvana is joining us. Hello, Nirvana. And Jeff sent me a DM and said, yes, so I'm going to join. I'm going to ask Jeff to invite me here in just a second and rather to join me on the live. And Al says hello, and you're doing a little bit of a promotional message during my broadcast. Al, I'm not going to read that message off, but thank you for joining us here today. Bern from Southern Germany. Guten Tag, or might it be Guten Nacht? I'm not sure. Time of day, I think it might be close to nighttime for you there. Took a couple years of German in high school, so I may be a little rusty, but I remember certain words and phrases from that. Nazrul says hello, and Srini is joining us from Montreal. So we've actually got 30 people joining us for this live. So let's get started with this conversation, and I'm going to multitask a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is invite Jeff to join us into the broadcast, and I don't think you guys can see as I'm navigating here on my screen, but I'm just going to pull this up in the background and see if I can have Jeff join us. And while I'm doing that, I want to talk about this concept of coopetition and a little bit of the background on how I created this list. So once upon a time, let's call this a little over a year ago, Jonas Burien, if you guys know Jonas Burien, leave me a comment below here. If you know John, you know that John publishes a lot of data. And one of the data points that he'll publish is stats on his posts. And he's always kind of monitoring himself and, you know, others on LinkedIn, and he does content writing as part of what he does. So he kind of breaks down a lot of details and makes some usable points of data. And he was evaluating his own progress on individual posts on LinkedIn. And I said, wow, that's such a cool concept. I wonder if I could learn from others on LinkedIn by watching them. So I started to create an Excel file, and I started just putting people in the Excel file. I'm going to show you guys this here too. Well, Jeff, I did send you the link. So if you're watching, click on that StreamYard link, and then you're going to join me in the broadcast studio room here. So while we're waiting for Jeff to do that, what I'm going to do is share the screen. And let's see here. I'm going to share an application window. Let's see if I can do this. Chrome tab. So I'm going to pull up my LinkedIn Rockstar list here. All right, I think you guys are going to see this on screen here in just a second. Yep, okay, so it should be up on screen now here. So this is a list that I started creating way back in, I think it was October of 2018. And I just started listing out people. And I'm just going to use an example here. I put Jared on here, and I put his URL. And then I would click to go to Jared's profile. I'm going to do that right now and see if the screen's taking you guys over there. Let's see. Ooh, Jeff is in the waiting room. So let's give him just a second here. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this process because I'm going to include Jeff in on the session. All right. Let's see. Jeff, can you say hi?
Hi. I can't say hi.
Oh my gosh. Look at this is happening. This is awesome. So
happy Saturday.
I'm going to try to do here, Jeff, before we get the conversation started. I see I have this banner in the background. I'm trying to figure out why I have a banner in the background. There we go. Okay. So now you're on. Look at that, Jeff Young, hashtag the LinkedIn guru. How are you doing today, Jeff?
I'm doing great. I guess I got the hashtag because this is actually my second live. I was actually on live like you were with Russ Johns.
I saw that. So when you joined through StreamYard, did you put that in your name field? You put Jeff Young, the LinkedIn guru?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So I could probably go back and put, if I wanted to put a hashtag or a handle or something in mine.
You can update your name. You should be able to, yeah.
Good. So how are you doing today, Jeff? What's going on in Columbus?
I'm doing great. Actually, I was just lucky that I happened to see this. I was out earlier, and I was actually traveling to my hometown, Circleville, Ohio, and plans changed, so I came back home early and got back on LinkedIn, of all things to do on a Saturday, of course. But hey, you know, I checked in, and when I checked in, I saw that you were going to do the live. So
awesome.
I throw my hat. I don't have my hat on. I throw my hat in the ring.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining. And I don't know, did you see the Rockstar list that I published on LinkedIn already today?
I did. I've already commented a couple of on that post. and sent you one of my quote unquote trademark gifts for that.
That's awesome. I'm going to try to see if I can share the screen here. Let's see. So this is all new to me. And as I'm going through and navigating throughout here, I like to tell people you're seeing me behind the screens, behind the scenes, if you will, and watching me every step of the way. So I don't like to say there are mistakes, but you're watching me as I learn and as we're going throughout here. So I'm going to pull this up on screen here, and I'm going to go back to my LinkedIn homepage. And then I'm going to navigate back down so I can see some recent comments and pull this list up. And yeah, so I just published it, and I tried a little bit of a different technique. I don't know if you noticed, Jeff, I put the names of the people first to kind of put those up towards the top. Yep. And part of the reason I did that is if you were to see the post just in the homepage navigation here, you can usually see about 3 lines in the preview before you have to click to see more. I don't know that I can see my own post in the stream here, but part of the reason I did it at the top that way is that now instead of having that intro text at the top, you can see the first 3 lines. So you were probably one of the highly visible parts of the post for this week.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good month, so I moved up a little bit.
Yeah, so let's talk about a bit of that Rockstar acronym. I've been calling this list the LinkedIn Rockstars a while because I think these are people who rock on LinkedIn, and they are my Coopetition, if you will, people who are doing similar things as me, but I believe that if we support each other, we can help and build each other up. And one week you added a comment about the Rockstar. So tell us a little bit about the acronym that you came up with.
Well, I noticed that every single time that you did it, you ended up having to, most people didn't go far enough into your post in order to read why you did it. So that's what I really started to think about is, well, how could I express what it really meant to be a rock star and your whole philosophy about putting out the Rockstar list in the first place. So that's why I came up with the acronym. I thought that those are typically things that all of the people I've seen on the Rockstar list for now, at least a full year, are doing all the time. So that's what it means to me to be a rock star, and I hope, well, since you adopted it, I guess it means pretty much the same thing to you as well.
It does, and I think when you and I chatted in person, I think I shared with you that sometimes when I evaluate, does it make sense for this person to be on the list or not? I actually look at evaluating them compared to each words of the analogy, and there may be, I'm just trying to get the background out of here. The streamer thing's a little bit different, but there may be some of the features that they are not demonstrating when I kind of bounce them against that list, and I'm like, well, they just don't quite fit for the list. And I'm going to pull it back up on screen. The real desire to help, outstanding knowledge, caring attitude, kind of giving. I mean, some people, they want to be a part of this list because they want to take from it. And I think that's something that you and I discussed.
Exactly. And another thing was that I think it was pretty plain to see sometimes people were remaining on the list or a part of the list because they were using automation.
Right.
And you and I are both not necessarily a fan of automation for just automating a number of connections.
Right.
That's not what it's about. I mean, the last one says you're a relationship builder. And if you're trying to build relationships, that's not the right attitude to take. Right.
No, absolutely. And the relationship building, I think, is a really core element of this list as well. And what I've seen is, sometimes people will come on the list, and the way I put it together is as you know, Jeff, and for the benefit of those others that are listening, I put this together and it's ranked by percentage increase. And I put some criteria into place so that it could be measured fairly. So one is you have to have, for new people being added to the list, you have to have a minimum of 6,000 followers. And I put that in place because you could potentially have somebody with 500 followers, which doubles, and then they're at the top of the list. And that's not really fair, so to speak, to the others that have 6,000, 12,000, 30,000 followers. So I put that minimum criteria in place. And then I also put a top threshold in here. And you can't have any more than 100,000 followers. And the reason being, when you get that large, and I'm sure you've experienced it too, Jeff, they've either got a team of people running this show for them, or they're just at a whole other playing field. And
it's a whole different ballgame.
It is, and they're at a different level. And I've even noticed too that some of those individuals are, they're not engaging back with their comments. You know, they're just spewing out information, which is great. And the community is responding and commenting and liking, but they're not really engaging back with it. So
that's a good point, though. I mean, the engagement is a piece of that as well, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that it talks about as well, is actually engaging with your network. And for those folks, it's not necessarily their fault. They've become so popular that they honestly don't have time to engage with all of that content. So it becomes, and again, I think a key to what you put together, and one of the things I love about the list is that it's always a two-way street. It's a communication back and forth. It's not just about one-way communication, always outbound.
Yeah. No, that's really a good point. So I love doing this live too, because I get like the live feedback. Somebody, I don't know who it was, somebody with a 517 area code just texted me and said, LinkedIn screen is hard to see. Maybe go back to just the speaker's video. So I'm going to put just you and I back on screen here a little bit, and then we can kind of finish this conversation off. And I promised you 5 minutes, and it's probably been already more than that, Jeff. But if you're able to stay online for a few more, we'll chat for a few more minutes, if that's okay.
Oh, sure, that's fine.
All right, this is all live.
I actually had to pause the live broadcast so that I knew that there would probably be an echo or something going on.
If you want to,
the actual broadcast. So when we're done, I'll just go back to the actual live broadcast.
Yeah, feel free to. And what I do too, Jeff, and this is a little technique I've learned, is I'll pull it up on my phone and then just turn my volume down, and there's about a 30-second delay. So if you want to follow along with the comments, but let's take a commercial break right now if we could. And I just want to kind of look and see who else is joining us. I did see a couple other folks that were coming on. So we had George saying hello, Jonas Burien from across the pond. John's like the rock star to be all end all rock stars. And John and I were messaging back and forth yesterday, and he mentioned to me, this is like the way that the world works. So I stumbled upon John online on LinkedIn one day, and he had posted something about his profile views shot through the roof, and he couldn't figure out why. And I don't know, I stumbled upon the post, and then I was responding to his comments on that post. And then we got into a message together, and I was trying to help troubleshoot, you know, what it was. Is his name common? Is there somebody else in the news with his name? But it would like went from like low views to, you know, enormous views in a day. And we couldn't figure it out, but I'm like, well, lean into it, you know, keep going with what you're doing and just watch your data. And so he and I, you know, we've chatted by LinkedIn, but we've never met in person, but we were referring people back and forth to each other all the time. I think just about every time I present on LinkedIn, I'm always mentioning John's name. And you and I, when we met too, Jeff, you know, we both were talking about John, and he's one of those people everybody knows, right? So
it's actually one of my goals is if I've connected with somebody, we're still talking about it. John and I are still talking about it, how to get the airfare for him and his book tour, because when his book comes out in April, I want him to come over to the U.S.
That would be great.
And visit us. So I'll let you know so that maybe you can travel down to Columbus from Detroit.
Yeah, that's just a hop and a skip, and we could be like the Jonas Burien groupies. We could get his T-shirts and coffee mugs and stuff.
Great idea.
Hold up banners. That's awesome.
You have to wear Bitmojis though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's a big Bitmoji guy. So John messaged me the other day because he was on Russ's broadcast. Did you catch his yesterday morning?
Yes, I caught the replay. I wasn't able to see it live.
The replay. And so he mentioned to me, he heard about Russ from me because I was on Russ's broadcast, and it was just like this whole circular world. You know, we refer people back and forth to each other, and he got on there and they were like, you know, sharing all the different people that they know and names that are in common. And they told a story too of you, and John mentioned somebody that he referred you to, but she's in your area. Who is that? Was it
Vicky O'Neill?
Okay, Vicky O'Neill. And
that's a true rock star. A guy from the UK will refer somebody in Ohio to me.
In Ohio,
far away, and because of that, she and I have actually met face to face twice. So
yeah, and I don't know about you, Jeff. I mean, I will refer. I'm going to go back to my friend Terry Bean, who's the person who taught me the concept of Coopetition. You know, Terry's been one of my mentors and friends, and you know, sometimes I call him a coach for me too, because he does provide me guidance. But I've sent business to him, and he sent business to me. And, you know, this whole concept of Coopetition, where it's an abundance mentality, there's more than enough for all of us to go around. And, you know, even when you and I met, and I was like, I was asking you, like, Jeff, how can I help you? What can I do for you? How can I help you? And you're in this point in your career where you're just really focusing on giving back, right? You're doing a lot of the free LinkedIn talks and presentations.
Yep. I just finished my 58th one of the year.
Wow.
That's right. Yep. So I've only got a couple more left, and that's fine. I'm looking forward to the last couple for the year, and then taking the rest of the year off.
Oh, there you go. Give yourself a little break, right? Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's see who else we have on, and then we'll wrap this up here. We'll get back to our Saturdays. So we have Jonas Burien, we said hi to. Randall, hello from New Orleans. Gopal says hi. Julio. I'm not sure of Felicia. I'm sure it's a hello greeting. I apologize. I can't read that. Randall says hi again. And John saying get that book tour sorted. So looking forward to that, John. And I'm going to do a pre-sale. I want to get a copy of his book once it gets published. It's about content marketing, I believe. John, if you could drop the title of the book in the comments so I can read it off to people. Cyril says hello.
Yeah, I got it. It's called Content DNA.
Content DNA. Look at that. Of course, as a groupie, you would know the name, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mike says hello, and Christopher says aloha from Oahu. So,
oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah, so we're
doing this 9 to 5, Brenda. It's like 9 London to 5 Honolulu.
Right. It's like all around. And this is really too, Jeff. We've got 38. Actually, it keeps going up now. 38, 40, 41. It keeps going up right now.
You've gone global.
It just goes to show the power of LinkedIn and social media, and the fact that, even though it's a weekend, this is a professional networking social site. So we don't have to be on. We all are choosing to be on LinkedIn. And I just wanted to test this out. At the same time, I published the list to kind of generate a little bit of visibility for the list. And what I'll do is save the video out and put it in my YouTube library and merchandise it around later. And I'll give you all kinds of shout outs there, Jeff.
Oh, thank you. It's been great. I'm glad that the process worked. I was glad to help you test out the process of adding somebody as you do it.
Yeah, and it was like live time too. And you're one of the people.
Add more than one person? That'll be the next thing.
We could. I don't know how. There is a way, because I can see there's multiple like presenter boxes in here. Have you applied for LinkedIn Live yet, Jeff, or is that something?
No. Okay. I'm honestly, I think folks like you and folks like Russ are perfect at that. I don't know that I am really that interested in doing LinkedIn Live. I'm interested in making sure that I get involved in whatever it does to help. But I probably will not actually get LinkedIn Live myself. I'm not. Okay. I'm a video guy sometimes, but not necessarily a LinkedIn Live guy.
Well, good. Well, I think, it's great that you made yourself available, and you're the kind of person too, Jeff, that I don't feel bad. Like I'm like putting you on the spot, asking you to jump in. And then if I have some hiccups, you're going to be like, you'll be smooth about it. You won't be embarrassed about it or mortified that I'm nothing or anything. Yeah. So
this is just fun. That's all.
All right, Jeff. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. I'm going to disconnect you so you can get back to your day. Thank you so much for joining us, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Jeff. All right. So we're going to take Jeff off the line there. And I want to say hello and thank you to my husband, Chris Meller, who's actually in the other room working in my home office right now. And I saw a comment come up on Facebook a little while ago here. And I'm going to show you here on StreamYard, when the comments are coming in, it looks like these are only comments from Facebook. I'm not seeing comments from LinkedIn that are integrating within here. So when I show the comment from Facebook, so if you happen to be on Facebook, you can go and submit a comment onto the Meller Marketing page as I'm doing a live stream right now. And then I can share that comment on screen. So there's a little chance for additional visibility for those of you who might be interested in getting your comment on screen. Now, StreamYard is showing the platforms it supports, but as a part of LinkedIn integration, we're not able to see comments. So that's why I like to have my phone ready to go and reading the comments through on there. So, so very good. So let's see. Strong tip. So Mike, I'm not sure if you were asking for a question about the tip or if you felt that the tip was helpful. You could clarify on that. But here's where we're at, guys. It's about 1:11 my time. I need to wrap up in about 5 minutes here because I'm going to be getting the rest of my day started. I got a couple of things going on family-wise today. But I do want to give a little plug here. I've got my lovely coffee mug for Sugar Creek. Let me show you this beautiful mug here. And the gentleman from Sugar Creek, let me see if I can find his name for you guys real quick. I'm going to be doing a live stream with him next week on LinkedIn and telling you a little bit about the backstory of, let's see, Sugar Creek Coffee Roasters is the name of the company. And his name is Lee Everett. So Lee messaged me on LinkedIn during, I think it was right after my first live stream. and he noticed I had a coffee emoji in my name, and he said, "Do you love coffee? Do you like coffee? We're a coffee roaster." And I actually bought a pound of the pre-roasted coffee from Lee, and it was so amazingly good. And I asked my husband this morning, because I was making a second cup of coffee for myself, and I said, "Where's that sugar-free coffee?" And he's like, "We made it. We used it for the entire week, and it's gone." So I told Lee I want to have the sugar-free coffee that I'm drinking while we do the live stream. So I'm going to be postponing that until probably later next week at some point. But I'm going to talk to Lee about what they're doing from a marketing perspective for his coffee company and how he's using LinkedIn as a marketing tool as well. So I think that's about it. So finishing the conversation off, Coopetition was the focus for the concept here today on the live stream, and profiling and featuring and tagging and posts, all those great techniques of showcasing people that are your Coopetition, people that are competitors in your space, but that you support their business and they support your business. And I do that in the form of my Meller Marketing LinkedIn Rockstar list that I publish, but I also do that in my posting activity. You'll notice that if you follow me on LinkedIn, every Friday I do a Friday shout. Yesterday I did a Friday shout to Russ Johns and commended him on his live broadcasts that are every weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So I might, promote other LinkedIn trainers, coaches, marketing consultants, other people in the future. Terry Bean's been a person I've promoted in my Friday shouts. Jonas Burien, I tag him in every one of those because he inspired me to start that series. But I don't fear that by showcasing my competition, it's going to be detrimental to my business. Actually, it's the reverse. When I talk about others that are doing the same thing in my space, it helps me to gain visibility for my business and for myself, and more importantly, for that other person. I'm shining the light on others. I'm helping to build visibility for people in my network. And that in turn, I'm a big believer, the whole social media karma concept. When you pay attention to others, when you talk about other people, other businesses, that comes back to you. And that's a really strong marketing technique. It's something that's a common element of social selling, and it can be a very powerful tool. So let's see here. We did have somebody who saw my comment, Michael Baker. Michael, I was on his podcast earlier in the year and had a really fun time. And you can see he's got, I think this is his Facebook photo that's up on screen here. He said, "Hey, Brenda, nice working on your live video." So that's just a little example, and I'm learning as I go. I just learned here today that while LinkedIn comments can't be shown up on screen, I can only see them on my phone at this point through StreamYard. It does appear that Facebook comments can be shown on screen. So one thing I would like to do is try to figure out if there's an easy way I can incorporate a Facebook link through live. Other than, I think what I could do is I could go into banners and I could click on create banner. And you guys are going to watch me. You guys don't mind, do you? Watching me as I go? I don't think you do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go facebook.com and I'm going to pull up my link for Facebook on Meller Marketing. And let's just give this a try if we could real quick. And then we're going to wrap this up because I got to get going. It's 1:15 now. So I'm going to click on add banner. And now I'm going to show it. I don't think this is clickable on screen. Is it? Could you guys check it out and see if it is clickable on screen? I don't think it is because I think this is just a streaming device, and I don't think you're going to have that ability to go on screen. If not, though, what I'd like you to do is if you're watching the live stream, we've got about 32 people still on with us right now. Go to facebook.com/Meller Marketing, find the live video, and if you could just add a quick comment, and then I am going to show your comments on screen before I wrap this up today, and then you'll get some visibility because your comment will stay in on the live stream broadcast, the playback rather of the live stream broadcast that goes out on Facebook. It will go on my YouTube channel. It will stay on LinkedIn as well. So you're going to get some visibility for yourself and for your business by doing that. So let's see if anyone was able to do that. Michael said no. I don't know what you're saying no to, Michael, but thank you for the earlier comment. And then we see Chris Meller. So I can toggle back and forth between the different comments that are coming in on Facebook. And while we're waiting to see if anyone else wants to leave a comment, I'm just going to look away on my phone here to see if any other comments coming in. And through LinkedIn, hi to William Henry. And Randall says, I can't wait to add LinkedIn comments to LinkedIn Live. It doesn't appear, Randall, that you can do that through StreamYard. I don't think it's a limitation of StreamYard. I think it's a limitation of LinkedIn and the integration between these outside API and software services. So, so Mike is saying, asking, give us one. And then he said, yes, use a common media. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Mike. If you could clarify in the comments, I would appreciate it. And let's see. Okay, so we got some other comments that are coming here. Michael, who said no, now the mystery is being revealed. Bum, bum, bum. He's saying, no, the link rather isn't clickable on Facebook. So that's what he wanted to specify. And we got a comment from Bryan Holaday saying, great info, fun to watch, learning in progress. Thanks. Well, thank you, Bryan, and I appreciate you watching and for the feedback. So that's another example of a comment here. I think that's all of the comments that are coming in. There is about a 30-second delay that occurs between the time that you leave a comment and the time that it actually appears on live stream. So that's another takeaway if you're doing live videos. Just be aware, and I don't know what it is. I'm not a technical person, you guys. I'm a marketer, okay? But what I have observed is there's going to be a little bit of a lag between the time that it was captured on the broadcast and the time that it actually goes online. Sometimes you may see some of these live videos, they'll start with like a cover image and it'll be online for, you know, anywhere from 10 to 20 to 30 seconds before the person goes live. And I think part of that is so that the person doing the broadcast is aware of when that streaming is beginning, and they're not starting by clicking go live and then they're fumbling. You see, you probably even saw me do it today, right? Watch the playback and you'll notice at the beginning I was like, oh, okay, I think we're live, right? So I think that helps to smooth that process out when they put that cover image that's in there. So I think that's about it. We're getting a couple people dropping off, so we're going to go ahead and end this video here today. And I just want to go back to, let's see, go back to my banners. And you're going to see this banner is something that I created out in StreamYard and something that I like to put at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. A good marketer always bookends things and helps to make it easy for your audience to understand, you know, what's the point of the video, whether you caught the first few minutes of it or the last few. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. This has been some marketing tips by Meller Marketing. I am Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing, and I appreciate you joining me today. Hopefully you found these tips helpful. If you have any additional comments about Coopetition and how you're using that as a marketing technique, do leave it in the comments below on whatever social network you're watching this video on, and have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.